about to get race 2 then underway, because the field comes now pouring its way out of Woodcote, and the lights change, and a very, very keen start by Jasper Sapra, who goes storming down towards Copse Corner, straight between the two front row drivers, then puts himself on the outside line and loses out. So it's going to be Owen Hizzy in the lead, I reckon, with Jasper Sapra in second place.
Will it be a Ginetta then that we see for the first time? Yes, it is a Ginetta, followed by Jasper Sapra after that storming start, and in third place is Ian Astley's Ginetta. That's come up from the... that was on the third row, wasn't it? So Ian Astley, number 24, in his Ginetta in third place. Now this time there's no spectacular sideways stuff by any of the leaders going through, nor anybody else for that matter going through the Beckett's S's onto Hanger Straight. Probably the leader already approaching Stowe Corner.
And as they turn their way then towards Stowe, the Owen Hizzy driven Ginetta leads from, in second place, Jasper Sapra, then third, you say, Ian Astley going nicely. The rest of the field filing through, one being terribly courageous on the outside line, 3 wide round Stowe in the mid-pack, but they've just all about survived it, in fact. 1 or 2 leaning on the suspension, but not leaning on the car alongside as they still pour their way through. David Gooding making progress then. He's got past a good dozen or so already, and the fight's going to be on for third place. You've got the Ginettas lining up side by side, in fact, there, as trying to work up the order. The 2 G55s together, but up front, pulling clear still, is Owen Hizzy with Jasper Sapra in that second place.
Yeah, well, saw how well Owen Hizzy went in the earlier race, his first race in this sort of car, and was impressive, as indeed was his co-driver, so they must start favourites, I would have thought, but many favourites can come unstuck. Here he is then into the loop, with Jasper Sapra doing his best to stay in touch, but not really succeeding. You talked about side-by-side Ginettas. They are side-by-side for third place, 24 and 128, with Ian Astley just ahead of Jim Edwards, no less.
And one that we haven't mentioned yet, was it even there, the Frost Carer BMW?
I thought there was something missing, yes.
Yes, that should have been in that leading group. Now, I confess I wasn't conscious that it wasn't there at the end of the formation lap, but it may have been missing from the front of the grid. So the leaders come through, and that car is not being shown with the middle sector time, that's for certain, so I don't think it started. We have Owen Hizzy leading from Jasper Sapra second. In third place then is 24 Ian Astley. In fourth place is Jim Edwards. In fifth place Axel van Nederveen. Sixth is the Julian Thomas Team Brit BMW, but I spy no red BMWs of Lee Frost.
Do you remember when Gary interviewed Lee Frost at the end of the earlier race and said, we'll see you later on? He said, well, I don't know if we can be bothered. Remember that?
That's right, yes.
And it may be that they're going to rest on their laurels, having had a win yesterday, the Lamborghini, and now a win earlier today. So the car never actually made the assembly area.
Which is a shame in a sense, because it would have been quick. Now, 68 clear up from the back of the grid. John Hobbs doing a very, very good job in that, because he's gone charging past cars aplenty, and he's working his way up the order. Into the pit lane, though, has come 177, I think that is, hiding behind the barrier with a little bit of damage at the front. So that car, I think, had a skirmish on the first lap.
Well, there's multiple place changes going on at the moment. What happens with you changes by the time some of them get to me, but they're all now, it's the tail enders passing me, the Ginettas particularly, and the leaders are somewhere around about Club, I imagine. So through Stowe, out of Club Corner.
The 117 car into pit lane guy with the front end hanging off, so that's had an excursion somewhere.
It has indeed, yeah. That's the only Morrison Clio. Right, leaders heading up towards Abbey, and Owen Hizzy getting away still on this lap from, in second place, Jasper Sapra, who's starting to come under a bit more attack now from Ian Astley, I reckon.
Yeah, so the leader easing himself further and further ahead, but the next three, the BMW and then the 2 more Ginettas, are all bunching up. Out of the loop comes the leader then, Owen Hizzy. Second, Jasper Sapra. Third, 24, 128, and in fifth place is Van Nederveen. So it is Ginettas third, fourth and fifth. And in sixth place, number 70, which is Julian Thomas.
Safety car is being deployed. Safety car is being deployed. So the safety car legend appears on the timing screen, and the car in the lead, which is about to emerge now from Luffield, that of Owen Hizzy, will have to slow and will have to be caught by, in second place, Jasper Sapra. Now, actually, the safety car boards aren't out. It's on the screen, but
Yeah.
the safety car bulletin flags are yet to be shown around the circuit. Now, there's one at Copse.
Nothing being shown down here
No.
in pit lane or on the
Well,
pit wall,
there
guys.
is a yellow flag at Copse Corner, but the safety car legend is on the timing screen.
And the safety car's on the track.
Yeah, the board's just been shown at the end of pit lane now, I think.
Right, okay.
So the safety car was positioned correctly halfway between Copse and Maggots, and it's now, of course, picked up. Everybody was aware of what was going on, slowed down as necessary, and formed an orderly queue behind the safety car. The reason for the safety car, David, do you have a screen that might let you know
Not
this?
instantly, but let me have another look at a different page on a different screen.
I can't.
No, there's nothing instant that's obvious about this.
Is it something that the 177 Mollison car might have been involved with?
It's possible. Whether there's debris on the road is conceivable. Oh dear.
Well, there's
Now,
lots
into
of
the
bits
pit
hanging
lane is
on.
coming number 68. So the Clio that was doing a very good job up from the back of the grid of John Hobbs coming into the pit lane after just 2 laps.
Oh dear. With damage, you think?
Possibly. Right, there is a car in the gravel. This isn't very helpful, I know. It is a Golf, and it's number 51 that's needing to be extricated. So this is Luke Handley's car.
Yeah.
And where is that? It might be on the outside of Club, at the end of Vale, that area. Because I can see the Daventry. Yeah, I think it's a Club,
Right.
or into Club at the end of Vale.
That's why neither of us could see it out of the window.
Yeah. So safety car turns through. Yes, it'll be at the end of Vale looking at all of this. But it needs hoiking out of the way. So 51 is the cause of the safety car, right, and 68 is into the pit lane. And
Yeah, into the garage, the 68 car,
Oh,
but
dear.
bonnet up, but yeah, no damage from what I can see, so I think it's obviously going to be an engine problem.
real shame that. They worked very, very hard
Yes.
to get the car out, having missed the first race for the second, and still not able to do very much in it. Now, of course, all of this counts within the 50 minutes, so if you've got your faster driver in early, what he can do is now being negated by the safety car period. I know in Hizzy he's not being able to build a gap either, is he?
Yes, Charlie Hollings, for example, who is obviously one of the faster drivers, 7th he is, but the benefit of having him in that car is not really going to be seen.
So the cars currently are on lap 3, 42 minutes of the race still to go.
Up into 8th place in those opening couple of laps came Ryan Parkin, now in car number 13. He started
13th.
and he's now 8th.
No, sorry, started 7th. I'll tell you a lie, started 7th.
Oh, so he's
He's
lost
gone
a place,
backwards.
actually.
Yes,
right.
yes.
Well, across the row, yeah.
Right, safety car peels through Luffield. The snatch vehicle is on its way from Club, I think, to hoik the car out of the way of Luke Handley. So the leaders come through. The safety car at a very reduced pace, with behind it then Owen Hizzy, Jasper Sapper second. Having done this, Jasper then has to dash to the assembly area and get into a different BMW for the next race, the Snetterton Saloons, where he will do the first stint. In 3rd place, Ian Astley. In 4th place, Jim Edwards. In 5th place, Axel van Niederven. In 6th is Julian Thomas. Charlie Hollings is 7th. Alex Parkin is 8th. Sebastian Dubois is 9th. And 10th is Steve Rothery. David Gooding in number 179, 24th at the moment. So Nigel Greensall's got some work to do in the second stint. But actually, this is helping them because the gaps aren't opening up the road.
And they have their quicker driver ready and waiting in the pits.
Just have a look at number 7 Golf when you next get a chance.
Where is this?
It's way near the back.
Oh,
it's the
okay.
Rob Baker car that was...
excluded for
Sorry,
having...
no, wrong Golf. It's the Robert Taylor car. It's... no, ignore me.
Difficult to do that, David.
Yes. No, getting my Golfs confused. I'm a bit below par with my Golfs, but that car is a long way back in the
So
pad.
you're in a bunker.
Number 6 Golf didn't start, did it, having been excluded from the first race?
I'm watching golfs go past me, but what was I? No, nothing to look for.
No.
Okay.
Move along, nothing to see here. Yes.
Okay.
Right, how are we doing with our clear-up operation? I think it's probably about done. I can see marshals going back to post down at club.
So this could well be the last safety car lap. Well, they can't complain about the conditions now, can they? They're really, I would say, dry right across the track, right the way around the circuit.
Luke Handley's Golf, I think it is arriving out of Luffield now. So having been tugged out of the gravel bed, it's back on track and it's back in the race. And through it comes. Oh, and it looks decidedly dog-eared on the left-hand side. So there's a big dent in the door and some very crinkled bodywork, suggesting it did not get there on its own. It might have had a bit of hip and shoulder to put it into the gravel.
An assist.
Yeah. Pushed rather than fell. Anyway, you'll see it on the left-hand side. It looks not like Volkswagen intended it to, but it is at least circulating again.
On the left-hand side, so I don't see it as it goes through now. Beckett's. It'll have to wait till it gets round.
Yeah, to Village. Right, so hopefully we can go back racing this time. David Gooding's BMW, as I say, down in 24th, but with him not losing too much time here, and they've got, 8.5 minutes before the pit window opens.
A fairly leisurely pace car. Owen Hizzy then ready to tear off into the lead again. What was his lead? About 2.5 seconds, I think, wasn't it, when the safety car came out?
Yeah. So Jasper Sapper, I can expect, might be one of the first in because he's got another car to get to. But Owen Hizzy possibly to stay out a little bit longer. Safety car in this lap, that is confirmed.
Now, the number 70 car, this is the one that has got Julian Thomas at the wheel at the moment. I suspect that could well be the Julian Thomas that we've seen so much success in historic racing.
Okay.
Well, he's done a pretty good job. Right, Charlie Hollings is next. Sorry, go on.
Lights out on the safety car as it comes out of Luffield then, so we're about to go back racing. Jasper Sapra has the look of intent about it here. He's got himself right onto the back of the leading Ginetta. Ian Astley, GT racer of years ago, they're in third place. Jim Edwards fourth, so the three Ginettas, third, fourth, fifth, Axel Van Nederveen next in the queue. We go racing once more, but Owen Hizzy gets a good restart, accelerates clear of Jasper Sapra as they go across the line now down towards Copse. The two leaders gap the Ginettas. Julian Thomas lining up to have a go on the inside of Van Nederveen at Copse, but he can't find a way through there. Behind him is Charlie Hollings, and then Ryan Parkin in 8th place in the Audi.
Here they come then, and not far ahead of them is a car that's going pretty slowly at number 68, one of the hot hatches. But in the lead then, it's Owen Hizzy, number 74. No change in the order as yet, but a good restart. Not such a good restart by Van Lederhoven, but the car behind him, Van Nederveen, behind him, Julian Thomas, is right up there behind, just on his tail.
Yes, he was having a look at Copse, as I said, and it didn't quite work, but not for the want of trying, so he's certainly going to be one to watch over the rest of the lap. They're still pouring their way out of Copse even as the leaders now head down Hanger Straight through Stoke Corner, and as they do so, more traffic needing to be sorted out imminently. If you say there's one of the hot hatches not far up the road, that was a long way off the back of the queue during that safety car period.
It's the John Hobbs car, it is,
right.
68.
Right, back out again. Okay. So to the end of Vale they come out of Club Corner, and that car between the two leaders, but Jasper Sapra now pounces on the inside at Club, goes through on the inside, and he will have lost a little bit of ground, I think, to Owen Hizzy there. So the gap between the leaders will be slightly bigger this time when you next see them.
Okay. So here is the leader through Farm. Yes, is well clear of the scrap going on between a Ginetta and a BMW or 3 as they come into Village. It is just Jasper Sapra keeping the Ginettas at bay, apart from, of course, the leading one of Owen Hizzy that comes out of entry now. Then we've got Jasper Sapra. 24, 128 and 111 remains the order. Ian Astley ahead of Jim Edwards, who's loving his return to racing, I would imagine. Van Nederveen then 5th, and 6th is Julian Thomas, all in one long line of spectacularly powerful cars,
As
rear-wheel drive.
the leader gets away, but you're right, that battle pack behind is a long queue, and sitting on the back of it, in fact, behind Julian Thomas is Ryan Parkin in the TT.
Yes,
He's there
indeed.
as well. Right, leader across the line. Owen Hizzy making good here as the sun shines. Second and third, Sapra and Astley. Fourth is Edwards. Fifth is Thomas. Sixth is Van Nederveen. Seventh now, Charlie Hollings. Eighth is Parkin, gap back. Ninth is Dubois. And 10th is Steve Rothery, with the next of the Parkins, number 12, the Volkswagen-powered Parkin, Scott Parkin, next in that queue.
Well, Owen Hizzy looking very quick into Beckett's, and the next line of cars, no attempts at overtaking in that group. But yes, the Audi TT right at the tail end of that, but going very well, isn't it? Number 13, Ryan Parkin.
Because it doesn't look as though it should be that quick. but
Exactly.
It clearly is, yeah.
It's a smaller sized car than the others ahead of it, which all look powerful and grunty, but yeah, it's doing a great job of hanging on there. Led to Brian Rothery, as you say. So they're all down on the far side of the circuit in the vicinity of the Vale. And Club.
I just had to make a quick pit stop, guys, but the sun's out shining and it's quite warm down here in pit lane now.
Summer's arrived. Oh, we had all the seasons here today.
That's true, we have.
David Gooding is into 21st place in the number 179 BMW.
Okay, so Owen Hizzy, who came out of the Junior Saloon Championship into Ginetta G40s into Britcar Trophy, leads the way, race instructor as well, and he's done the fastest lap of the race last time around on the restart, 2:20.134, and he is getting away slightly from Jasper Sapra as they pour their way out of Club Corner once more, and the pit window will be open, not at the end of this lap, but probably the next.
Okay, well, the gap seems to continue to grow for the leader, Owen Hizzy, but the next week, still Jasper Sapra making sure that BMW's as wide as it possibly can be to hang on to his second place as the queue builds up behind him, and they could have a change of Ginetta order at the moment for third place. Still 24 just in front, Ian Astley of Jim Edwards, but Jim Edwards hasn't lost any of that skill that he used to demonstrate in winning Renault championships and the like, so he's looking for a way around Ian Astley now.
But the leader, very singular indeed. Jasper Sapra not shaking off Ian Astley, who in turn is trying to attack and defend because he's got, as you say, Jim Edwards right there behind him. And all of this playing into the hands of Owen Hizzy then, who comes out of Woodcote, goes across the line. So 2 minutes and 40 before the pit window opens. It'll be open for the back of the field next time, but not the front. And Jasper Sapra, he might be wilting a bit here, but he's certainly been given a tough time by Ian Astley, who lines up to have a go on the inside into Copse Corner and squeezes up the inside line. I think he's done it. Yes, he has there side by side through Copse. On the inside line is the white Ginetta. Ian Astley just ahead.
Here they come then, there's the leader into Beckett's, and then Jasper Sapra, and then side by side they remain, those two Ginettas, and just squeezing through on the inside, I think is going to be successful. It's 128, Jim Edwards. You wouldn't have thought he'd been away from racing for a bit, would you? But really getting stuck in there and gaining a place in the process, so he is now up into third place.
So Sapra drops back, and through goes Lee Smart in the Boxster. Further back in the queue, 51, the Graunched Golf, soldiering on despite its loss of time earlier on.
Any more places gained by, yes, David Gooding up now to 21st place in the pale yellow BMW.
Jasper Sapra's defence of that second place, very, very dogged, isn't it?
It is.
Ian Astley is the one that lost out because Jim Edwards got past him.
Yes.
I think Julian Thomas has got past all of them apart from Sapra.
Right.
So yes, he has. Julian Thomas up into now third place in the Team Brit BMW, except he then ran wide at Stowe, and that let Jim Edwards back on the inside line. So is he going to be able to go through? This is all in replay effectively, but that battle pack for second to sixth is a fabulous fight.
Yeah, well, as you say, the leader is well clear now. He can just get on and drive his own race, Owen Hizzy. But still, yeah, Jasper Sapra building up a battle behind him.
And you will have lost Ian Astley, who's spun at the end of Vale.
Right, well, so Jasper Sapra is still second, but then there's three of them side by side coming out of the loop. It sorts itself out into the order 1-1-1. So Jasper Van Nederveen is now up into third place. Fourth is Jim Edwards, and fifth is Van Nederveen.
And Ian Astley has got going again, but he's lost a big chunk of time. Here's the leader. So this is Owen Hizzy coming out of Woodcote Corner. This will put 7 laps in the book, and he's 20 seconds away from the pit lane being open in the window. But as I say, midfield and back, they can take advantage of it this time if they wish. In second place, which was ever thus, Jasper Sapra, despite what's gone on around him. In third place is 1-1-1 Axel van Nederveen. In fourth place is Jim Edwards. Fifth is Julian Thomas. Sixth is Ryan Parkin, who deserves huge credit for this. In seventh place is Charlie Hollings. Eighth is Francois Dubois. Ninth is Steve Rothery now. And the top 10 is going to be rounded out by Callum Noble, I reckon, number 19 in the purple BMW, going much, much better than in the first race. And Ian Astley, after his spin, has fallen a long way down the order, and I think has gone off again at Brooklands, at Luffield rather, because there's a Ginetta facing the wrong way, and I think Ian Astley has got a touch of the red mist and had another spin.
Oh dear, and this picked up a punch in the first one, but probably over exuberance. So anyway, the leaders are now making their way, or the leader singular, nearly 10 seconds clear, is making his way through Stoke Corner, but the battling group behind, what do you call it, the battle pack, is still at it. Hammer and tongs.
Good heavens. With his wipers on, 83 heads across the line. That's Steve Cook starting this race. And Ian Astley did eventually come through in 26th place after his 2 spins on that last lap. The lead gap is nearly 10 seconds here, but of course, having won the first race, they're going to end up with a much longer pit stop, aren't they?
Yes. Extra 15 seconds.
Correct.
So he's doing a good job about building up that gap, though, isn't he? Right, now, Jasper Sapra will not be passed, but the Ginetta's still trying a pincer manoeuvre now, as they came into the loop, but he's still the BMW in front. And then the two Ginettas, Axel van Nederveen, passed on the inside by Jim Edwards. Jim Edwards then goes up into third place once more, ahead of Axel van Nederveen. And then a bit of a gap opens up to Julian Thomas and the remarkable little Audi TT of Ryan Parkin. And you should have a leader.
Indeed, it's just gone by. So Owen Hizzy puts another lap in the book. 8 done. Pit window is now open as we get towards the halfway point of the race. In second place it remains Jasper Sapra. Now Jim Edwards will have a go at him, see whether he can dislodge him. In fourth place going through is Axel van Nederveen, ahead of now Ryan Parkin up into 5th place in the little Audi. Great effort this. Then Julian Thomas, then Charlie Hollings in 7th, and 8th Francois Dubois. 9th is Steve Rothery, who is ever so consistent in these races. That Peugeot 308 just going round and round and round, a bit like the Audi TT. And then in 10th place now is number 12, Scott Parkin, in the Golf, the other VAG entry of the family. Into the pit lane comes 35 to serve the stop.
If anybody can prise open Jasper Sapra's defences, it's going to be Jim Edwards, calling upon his many years of racing experience. He might be able to find a way through. He was certainly quicker through Beckett's this time. They're now heading towards Stowe.
David Gooding to the pits to give way to Nigel Greensall.
The first available opportunity.
Yeah.
From 20th place.
And quite a few of the back markers coming in. And Ian Astley arrives very quickly.
Not another spin.
No. But he then noticed there was a Clio up the road in the pit lane and had to brake even harder, but he managed to do that.
Right, well, the lead that Owen Hizzy has is now 12 seconds.
With Jasper Sapra 7/10 up the road from Jim Edwards, but that could change, you reckon?
Yeah, well, yes, I think Jim has been looking the most determined, of a group of determined drivers to pass the BMW driver.
It's like they've all had turns to try and have a go at it.
Yes.
I failed, you have a go now, so what you can do.
Well, here's the leader going through Aintree as this side-by-side. Jim was on the inside, he was going to try and get through, but he couldn't. It's still Jasper Sapra, who is driving a remarkably impressive race. Oh, Jim's gone wide, all 4 wheels off the track coming out of the loop. That's allowed Van Nederveen to get ahead of him again. So the white Ginetta is ahead of the whatever blue, isn't it? Yeah, down towards him.
Right, so still Jasper Sapra is able to withstand all of the pressure, and the leader Owen Hizzy continues to build the lead, bearing in mind that they've got an extra 10 seconds to serve over and above the Sapra BMW that's going to come in now. So Jasper Sapra gives way to Brian Branson so he can head to the assembly area.
Okay, Nigel Greensall takes out the 179 BMW after their stop.
Okay, and 111 Axel van Nederveen is back ahead of Jim Edwards. So it's Hizzy, van Nederveen, Edwards, and Sapra pits.
That was the consequence of Jim running wide here.
But like you say, he's getting all the rust off, enjoying himself.
Well, the leader is well through. Now we have Axel van Nederveen, and he has right behind him Jim Edwards, so he's got back ahead.
That's right.
Yes,
you said that was a consequence of what
that's
you've
right,
been
yes.
describing.
But yeah.
So Jim Edwards is trying to retake the place. Jasper Sapra has pitted.
What threw me was the fact that, as you told us, Sapra had come into the pits.
So now he will jump. Brian Branson will get in. That's going to give Julian Thomas a place. Others pit. Callum Noble, 93 is in. Jamie Alford is in. So the majority now getting their stops through. But yes, as Gary had told us, Nigel Greensill has gone back out in 179. So that's definitely one to watch now.
Yes, he came past you last in 22nd place. May have fallen further than that.
He should have done, because he's now had that 2-minute stop.
Yes.
So he will drop
Yeah,
a long way
stop,
down.
yes.
Yeah. That car up to the back of the grid.
Well, the lead that Owen Hizzy has over Axel van Nederveen is 14.6 seconds, which is the extra time he's got to spend in the pits, 15 seconds. Isn't
So Brian Branson fires up the BMW, the 40 car completed its pit stop, being held, and away he goes. I'll have a quick word with Jazz while I can. So good first stint for you, Jazz.
Yeah, it was a bit tough, mate. Trying to keep the Genettas away through the corners, especially with Maggots and Beckett's, is it? Yeah, they got more aero through there, I think. Losing a bit of time through there.
That's pleased with how it's going so far.
Yeah, all good, mate. All good, yeah. All good.
Great stuff. Thanks, Jazz. Cheers. There you go.
All good, mate.
A happy driver.
Indeed.
So the Mark Lee car in as well, the 74 car.
That's the leader, yeah. So Owen Hizzy bails from the lead.
Which puts Axel van Nederveen in the lead then.
It does for the moment, yes.
And there's 11.6 seconds, but Owen Hizzy was obviously slowing in the pit lane, which is why the leading margin was a bit less than it was on the previous lap. There's Nigel Greensill flinging the car through Beckett's. I think he's fallen outside the top 30 at the moment, so he's not on my screen. David can tell us where he is.
I need to find that page, because I'm looking at pit stop
right,
one at the
other
moment.
things, yes.
Although that tends not to do me any good, that page. Let's have another look. Oh no, it's Babe Station. Let's get a different page. Also, 2 of the pages I've lost now from TSL because of a weak connection, so
oh dear.
page 2 may not be available to me. But I'll let you know when I can place Nigel Greensill. Yes.
So yet to stop are the current leader, 111, Axel van Nederveen. Second place, Jim Edwards, 128. Third place, number 70, Julian Thomas. Fourth place, number 30, Ryan Parkin. Fifth place, number 79, Charlie Hollings.
Yeah, pretty much most out of that leading dozen, isn't it?
Yes.
And we know that everyone has to stop. But Owen Hizzy, with that longer stop, 135 seconds, giving over to Mark Lee, will lose time accordingly. Brian Branson, how much did they have to serve? That car had 120.
So Mark Lee takes a 74 car out again, and if Owens caught his breath, I'll let you have a quick glug before you. Some boost juice. That's better.
Yes, it is.
So a great first session, brings the car into pit lane for the driver change in first place, so can't ask for more than that.
No, I couldn't. My plan was at the start just to get away and try and build a bit of the gap, see the cars behind, and then the safety car came out, so I had to regroup and then go from there. And then when the safety car went, I just thought, let's just try and build a gap, because of course we had a success penalty in the pit lane for winning the race before, so just thought I'd get as much gap as possible and give Mark the best opportunity to go out and finish it off, really.
It's all down to Mark now.
It's all down to Mark, and I have complete faith in him and what he does.
Great stuff. Thanks, Owen. Cheers.
So good stint there by Owen Hizzy.
And Jim Edwards has come into the pits ahead of Axel van Nederveen, so they swapped places on their in lap.
Yes. Neil Wallace in 24, going through the traffic. Second safety car period has just been called for.
Oh.
So the safety car is on track, or will be again. Now this is going to throw things up in the air, isn't it? And I think it might be a car in the Beckett's S's. Let's have a look.
Well, at the moment there's a car that seems to have stalled facing the wrong way in the middle of the loop. Now, whether it's therefore very much in the firing line for anybody coming through. Yeah, I think the driver's door is opening. It looks like one of the little Ginetta G40s.
Okay, let me have a look, see if I can...
Well, I can only see the back end of it.
It is a black Ginetta G40, yes?
Yeah.
You're right, it's absolutely in the middle of the road, yes.
All looks okay on the 111 car, Axel van Nederveen, and a quick adjustment to tyre pressures.
Yes, I think the driver's opened his door, but he's obviously still desperately trying to get the car started, and it won't move. Is it moving? No, there's another car arrives on the scene. He's about to drive it, and the marshals couldn't possibly go to it.
No, indeed.
So Van Nederveen fires it up and leaves the pit lane again, so all done and dusted for the 111. I'll have a quick word with one of the pit crew. Is he happy with it?
Yeah, all happy, all according to plan. So we just lost a little bit of time on the pit lane by the looks of it. But he has a good pace, and we are looking forward to the end of the race.
Get him on the podium, yeah?
We hope so. We think that's going to happen.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Right, we've lost another Ginetta. 91 has stopped, but that's not the one that you've got. I still can't identify a number on it, I'm afraid, like you. I'm struggling. It's the black one, but that doesn't really help us.
74, David, he never got a flying lap in before the safety car since he took the car over.
I don't think he did, no.
So the fastest lap stands to that car, but that's an Owen Hizzy effort.
And we've got 15 more minutes of the race still to go.
Yeah.
But we should be able to go back racing pretty soon, because now the road is clear.
I would have thought, yes, this ought to be the last. The safety car and its followers, its retinue, are just coming into the loop.
Who led when he came in, but I think that's just
I would say the safety car slowed the rest of them right up. I mean, literally they're crawling along at what, 15, 20 mile an hour. So,
but I'm not convinced that 111 is the correct car to have behind the safety car now.
I think it's in the group of possible leaders.
Now number 17 is the leader, Sébastien Debois.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
From number 70, Chris Overend, and then number 13, Ron Parkin.
This Audi's going to win yet. When is the safety car going to clear off?
well, you'd think when the rest of them get to the back of the snake, but that could take a few laps.
Well, first of all, it needs the leader behind it.
Well, we don't know who the leader they're aiming for is.
17, seemingly. So we are going to have less than 5 minutes, which will be 2 laps, give or take, as the race gets back underway. And it's really a fight for second place, I suppose, with now Chris Overend ahead of Ryan Parkin. Up they come then, and the safety car peels in. There'll be some very grumpy teams about this, of course, the way it's all been controlled. But number 70 comes across the timing line now. Chris Overend goes through, so he's released. He's got 2 minutes and 25 seconds to try to make up, which is an absolute non-starter. But for second place, he's got Ryan Parkin behind him as they turn now through Cops Corner, and Mark Lee and Brian Bransom also trying to get themselves up through the traffic.
Yeah, Mark Lee in 7th place, as we were saying. So Scott Parkin has got himself in front, I think I'm right in saying, yes. Or is he second? No, he's second. Behind the Chris Overend car, number 70, BMW. But Sébastien Debois has completed 16 laps. No one else has.
No, indeed. He's gone serenely through, and he's on target for a win, isn't he?
Yes. Nobody can possibly catch him.
And that's probably the biggest present he'll ever have as a racing driver, because that's all been given to him, really,
Yeah.
by error. So Sebastien Debois clear in the lead, and Chris Overend and Julian Thomas are set for a Class win in second place. Class 2 invitation to be won by Ryan Parkin potentially, and then fourth, number 77, heading for Class 3 honours, Anthony Rogers and Finn Jones with their Golf Mark 5. So that's another car way up the order as a legacy of all the confusion. And sixth overall,
Yes.
the best of the Clios, Charlie Hand, heading for another Class win there.
So the Mark Lee Owen Hizzy car will finish second in its class, won't it?
Yes.
Assuming it's not passed by Brian Branson.
It's on target, so to finish second, yes.
Ryan Parkin senses the possibility of, well, it won't be a win. He's trying to get his way around the Chris Overend car as they're coming down into Brooklands. This is for second place.
Yes, it was 0.4 of a second between them, and it's side by side now as they come into Brooklands, with Ryan Parkin looking for a go on the inside of the Team Brit BMW. Couldn't quite do it there, but so Chris Overend hangs onto the pace as they come now up towards Woodcote Corner. Ryan Parkin right there behind, in fourth place behind them, Anthony Rogers, but the BMW goes through then with really one more lap to go, I think, for those cars now, because we've got just over 2 minutes. The gap is 1 minute and 55 seconds. Through goes Mark Lee. He's getting away now from Brian Branson. Ginetta pulling away. And got a Mazda MX-5 going very, very wide at Brooklands. Unless Sebastien Debois gets tripped up in the traffic, which he's got an awful lot around him, then he's about to start his last lap.
Okay, I've got the second and third place cars and the rest of them, the whole long line of safety car victims, making their way through Beckett's now as Chris Overend fends off Ryan Parkin, but only just. But the moral winner really is now in sixth place is the Mark Lee Owen Hizzy Ginetta.
Yes, I mean, if you take Debois out of the reckoning for a moment, the gaps between the rest are so minute, thanks to the safety car bunching them up. But yes, that would have been a winning car.
And it was really beginning to dominate the race. And they're two quick young drivers. So.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the safety car had to be scrambled, but it's a real shame that the way it was all conducted has affected the race so markedly, and it really has, hasn't it? Nigel Greensaw doing absolute best in the first sector as he tries to wring something out of the race into 11th place now in the yellow BMW. Jim Edwards, another driver that's lost out badly. Axel van Nederveen likewise. So there are an awful lot that can feel a bit hard done by here.
Yeah, I mean, Jim was really making things interesting, wasn't he, the way he was going?
So the flag will be at this time, because for the leader we are into the last 36 seconds.
Nearly had a change for second place there as Ryan Parkin dived down the inside. In fact, he's got level, but just doesn't have the power, or does he? Yes, he's got in front. So the Audi is now second. So Ryan Parkin ahead of Chris Overend as they head down the Hamilton Straight for the final time, David.
Okay, so heading towards Brooklands, they will come in a moment at the end of Wellington Straight. And it is the Audi ahead, and by 2 or 3 lengths. Yes, so he's caught past and pulled clear a little bit. Got Chris Plaskett's Golf in 4th place. So now Ryan Parkin is about to start his last lap. Heads up towards the line. So Ryan Parkin comes through. One more lap to run for the Audi then. Behind him is Chris Overend, and the checkered flag is waved at the wrong car.
Oh, no.
So it's waved at number 13, Ryan Parkin, who wasn't the race leader. So the checkered flag goes out, and they are denied their last lap, therefore. So Ryan Parkin was given the checkered flag, and yes, the time was up, but it wasn't given to the leader. It was given to the first car through the wave, but it wasn't given to the race leader. So the race is over, come what may, when the flag goes out. And so Sebastien Debois, the race winner, will come through now, through the traffic. He may not know he's won the race, but takes the checkered flag now and wins by a lap, effectively.
Yes.
So a real shame that what should have been a very, very interesting, very good race was spoilt so much by the safety car, and then the checkered flag being shown to the wrong car. So Sebastien Debois, the winner, way back in the traffic, but really disappointing that. we'll move on. Sebastian Dubois wins. Ryan Parkin second. So it was a good job he made the move when he did, because he wouldn't have got his last lap to do it.
Indeed, yeah. Yes, he was a very neat move down on the inside going through the loop and outpowered the BMW as they accelerated away from the loop, went through Aintree, and he got the Audi in front, having come up from, where was he? Some way back on the grid, wasn't he?
Dubois.
Number 13, no. Parking, oh no, I suppose that far.
No, he was only 7th on the grid. Yeah. But it was a good drive, certainly, by Ryan Parkin. And
on the Darkside, you know, they've called their team Darkside Racing or Darkside Motorsport, because they mainly run, I'm not sure whether that's a diesel car, but most of the cars they race are diesel engine.
That's right. Yes, I got behind that transporter yesterday. A very impressive outfit with as they were arriving at the circuit.
Were you on the dark side of it?
In diesel fumes. Down the pit lane then comes Ryan Parkin for second place. You might think he's won overall, of course, as he was shown a checkered flag, but he didn't. So some red faces out of all of that. But second place to Ryan Parkin, then third to Chris Overend and Julian Thomas, and Sebastian Dubois, the race winner.
I thought, looking at the screen now, David, I thought we were saying, from what was on the screen, that Dubois was a lap ahead of everybody else.
He was, but because he had done 18 laps. But I don't know why his last lap hasn't been.
That was the point I was making.
Credited.
Where's it gone?
Yeah.
So Dubois won by nearly 2 minutes.
The flag goes. The race is over when the flag is out. So the race was over when he finished his 18th lap. So therefore, his 18th lap wouldn't have counted. Is that it? So because effectively the flag went out a lap early, is what we're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.